family. What's good, everybody? Your boy Roman Puss here with the test trials, my first weapon test trials that we're going to be running, and we'll see how it goes. So if you guys have weapons that you want me to try out on specific Genshin characters between a couple weapons, let me know down in the comments below. Also, I stream a couple times a week live on Twitch. That's going to be down in the description, so if you want to check that out too, I would appreciate it. If not, that's fine too, but that's all right. Anyways, we're going to dive in. We're going to be looking at Yae Miko's main weapon, the whatchamacallit Sakura tree, or whatever the frick it's called, and the Widsith, which is one of the best free-to-play options, which you can generally get R5. So we're going to compare these two weapons and see which one is better and which one's kind of outputting more damage. All right, you guys. Now, just to keep things as simple as possible, I've removed the artifacts. This is going to be the best. Now, artifacts may modify and change things given the amount of elemental mastery, given that plays a huge part, especially with the Widsith, because you can get 480 elemental mastery, but we're going to be trying to work around that and see what we can do to get the most balance and have the most realistic of test trials that I can get. Now I'm going to be trying out everything against the Pyro Reggiesvine, just so I can have the same target. I'm not going to kill him. We're going to run in. We're going to see what kind of damage numbers look like on our E, and we'll see what they look like on our basic attacks, and we'll see. I have Kokomi here, so we're going to apply a little bit of Hydro to it, and then do a little zap for Electro Charge, and see what kind of damage we can do with that, just for a simple test trial for that. So now let's start actually with her main weapon, the whatchamacallit, Kagura's Verity. That's what I meant, you know, Sakura tree, it's like almost same thing basically. So let's dive in. Let's do a look up. So we got Yae Miko. Here we are. I got Kokomi just to melt the shield, and we're gonna press the E, and we're gonna see how it does. So let's dive in. Remember, she has no artifacts, so the damage numbers are gonna be fairly low. Keep that in mind. And I will double check with the Widsith. We're gonna prove and see what the actual stats are that we get from that. So use Kokomi just to melt this guy, and wait for the flowers. Break the shield a little bit. Okay, now there we go. Now let's triple E around this guy. So 1492 initially. That was probably a crit. So 709. 709, 1492. Whatever basic attacks are 400 something. Now let's apply Hydro. Let's see what we get. So that was, I did not see that number. We'll look at that later, and I'll put the number on the screen. So anyways, that's what we got. So we had 700 and something with the normal weapon without her stuff. Oh god, I'm gonna die here. All right, you guys. Now, one thing I actually kind of should have mentioned before, prior to running through this. Now, as we saw, we had about 700 damage on the original Kagura's Verity. That's like, all right, it's not the craziest, not the best. I mean, obviously the artifacts are, well, they change things. We'll see what the artifacts actually could bring. You get more electro damage and stuff with that, and you have the attack coming into play as well. Now, keep in mind, this has higher base damage. I believe it does have higher base damage. Yes, higher base damage, and as well as higher crit damage. So you can be critting for much more. It is 10% as of right now, but when you level 90 them, can all these things play a factor. I'm not going to level 90 them this instant because that's expensive as to freak, and I do not have that kind of mora. We are poor on that. So anyways, we're going to dive in. We're going to look at the Widsith. This thing actually has the 3 different songs. You have the attack, you have the elemental damage increase, as well as the EM. So the EM is probably going to be a little bit tested. I'm going to run that mainly with Kokomi as we do that. So we'll try out the Widsith and see how this does. In general, we're going to see how well it is. It is R5, so that is the perks. This is kind of why it's actually kind of nutty and one of the better free-to-play options. So if you're summoning for the weapon, the Widsith, it can be picked up there. So just keep that in mind. So if you don't get the main weapon, you got Widsith, hopefully. All right, one thing I do want to mention, I will show you guys what song we actually hit if we have the attack increase. You guys can see right now, our damage is 748. I believe it goes up to like 1600 if we hit the attack. I have 0 EM, so we'll see what happens when we actually hit the EM. And then obviously we have to get the Electro. That's when we know. So we'll either have the attack changes, the EM changes, or if we have the Electro damage increase, then we'll just see neither change in either of those stats. So we'll find out what song we actually hit when we run that. So let's dive in. Let's see what the Widsith brings us for damage, which got to beat 700 and something, I believe was the actual numbers. Okay, give me the shield. This dude actually takes so long to attack. It's insane. Okay, never mind trolling. But look at the Kokomi tank. That's why I love Kokomi. You just turn your brain off. Face tank stuff. Okay, now let's see what song we actually hit. What song we hit the attack increase. So 120% attack increase gives us 1646 attack. What kind of numbers are we looking at? 948, 948, 948. Okay, that's actually kind of pretty sexy. 1900 or the crit. We have 846, 500. That's what we're doing. 100 something for the basic attacks. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. Let me dodge out of that. Yeah, my Yae Miko's a little squish. All right, now we hit the elemental mastery. Let's see what we hit. Now I'm gonna get this out real quick so we can see what she does with Kokomi's damage. Let's see. So 14 something, 700 something base. Let's see what we hit. 2755 with the EM. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. That's a lot more damage with that EM. One thing I do want you guys to keep in mind is with our talents, we do have this. We have the extra damage increase per the elemental mastery that we have. So this is going to be an excellent substat and or potential stat that you actually want to run as an artifact piece. If you would like to run potentially elemental mastery, you could actually potentially use her as a support. You could throw out her 3 E's and then switch to another unit if you would like to. If you want to honestly stack triple EM, that could potentially be worth. Maybe not if you want to actually just use her as your main DPS. But if you'd like to stack triple EM, we can see what the damage numbers look like when you're running that. You could run that with electroshock. The Zap team comp I think would actually be nutty. Kokomi plus her plus honestly Raiden is just disgusting of a team comp. It's insane. So this really helps. Obviously, as you saw with the EM numbers, we're actually looking fairly larger. So I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of that. Let's see what the electro damage increase looks like. All right, now here is what we have on the electro damage increase. Well, let's see what the numbers look like. We have E16, we have 845 on electro damage increase. Our basic attacks, we just hit crit. So our basic attacks are actually much higher. They're about 300 and something with actual attack. I actually got a couple crits in there, to be honest. Those actually look pretty good. So honestly, it's a pretty close run so far. The Widsith is honestly running for a lot of damage, which is actually insane. Now, for a little more test purposes, I actually want to throw in real artifact set on Yae Miko. This is actually what I normally run on her. I'm going to run Thunderers. We run a little bit of Thunderers. Now, if I could actually get a lot more EM, that's your goal. That's going to be your priority stat, along with your crits and crit rate. So if you can get... Obviously, this HP percent is unfortunate to roll into, but it is what it is. So, where's my Shiminawas? We're running Shiminawas currently. You want a fat EM. You can actually run Emblem if you want to run 4 Emblem piece. That works as well. And then you can do 2 Gladiator Shiminawas / 2 Thunderers, which is actually what I like to run and prefer it. But that is up to you, whatever you want. Obviously, this is actually not the best of this. I have crit rate and I have 2 flat rates. So, honestly, the attack and the HP are kind of useless. Elemental Mastery is like a higher priority. But given it significantly increases your damage on your E. So I have a little more crit damage that I'm running. Honestly, I might actually run this as Elemental Mastery. If I could get good crit rate, crit damage on the substats, it might be a little bit better as a third piece. So I would consider the EM on that third piece on your crown, whichever you choose. Now, let's take a look, and I'm going to show you guys basically her main weapon. Actually, let me change to her main weapon. All right, now this test is going to be with Kagura's Verity, and let's take a run. Let's do a run up. Let's see what she has. See what Yae Miko offers me. Now, I don't have the greatest Yae Miko build in the world currently, but obviously we're getting there. So, still building her out. Honestly, that's the worst part about getting a new character. Let's see what the damage looks like. Okay, so 6k, 23, 31. Basic attacks hit for 700. I can view crit. You got 1,000. Actually, that was the whatchamacallit. About 700 is my basic attacks. That's like all right. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. Not bad. Look at the E. It basically half healths him pretty easily. Not bad, not bad. All right, now let's switch back to the Widsith with a full artifact set. All right, you guys, this is going to be a boost on the, not Elemental Mastery. This is actually the attack, I believe. We have a boosted attack. We have 2,600 attack. So we just hit the attack on the Widsith. So let's run it up. Let's see what the damage is. 24, 6, 4, 7, 7. Okay, pretty solid. Are those crits? Those are actually crits. So, okay, yeah, that's actually insane. Your basic attack is for 17,600. Okay, little test basic damage. Run it up. I'm gonna be honest, I can't tell which one I fully like yet. We'll do a final analysis at the end. All right, you guys, for this set, we actually hit the Elemental Mastery proc on this. Let's see what her damage is running off on her E. I'll show you guys basic attacks as well. So we're hitting 6157. 6157, not bad. Our attacks are about 600 with 900 at the final. 900 does a little more damage. We're hitting for 1575. Okay, not bad. All right, you guys, we actually just procced the electro damage increase. With our attack stat, we get about to 2,600 attack. With the Elemental Mastery, we get to about 500 something. And then this is the electro damage bonus. We're hitting for 2521 on a normal. Now, we were hitting 1,500 before with the EM. Our basic attacks are hitting for much larger amounts, so the electro damage increase is actually huge, I would say. And the 600 about. But when you crit with the electro damage, it's actually nutty. So that is insane. I actually really, really like the damage increase. So that's where I think the Thunderers is kind of a little more vital, because the electro damage actually scales with so many things that you have. So be careful of that. That's where if you are running the emblem set, your electro damage is going to be a little bit lower, because you'll be less, like 15% less than that. And if you are running Widsith, then you have the potential to get a bunch more of that. With 96% is actually huge. This is if you have the R5. Now this is the R5 Widsith. This is comparing it to an R0 Kagura's, whatever this is, Kagura's things. I can never remember this thing's name. But you're most likely to not have this unless you're a Giga Omega Whale. Well, congrats for you, because I really wish I was you and had that weapon R5, but most likely you're not going to have that. So if you have the Widsith, it's actually fantastic. And if you're looking for the free-to-play weapon, I'm going to be honest, this Widsith is actually insane, and it seems to be matching the Kagura's weapon very closely. So you'll only be lacking maybe a little bit of damage on crits because of the crit damage. You'll be able to achieve much more with Kagura's Verity. And if you have R5, then it's probably going to be no match. The Kagura's will definitely just be better. But Widsith is actually insane. So overall, I definitely think this is a much better route to go. I will be running a little bit of tests on the artifacts because I really want to check a little elemental mastery on that, because most of Yae Miko's damage is going to be coming from her E during her burst, during everything. So just keep that in mind. If you want to run her just kind of a little off field, she can be that sub DPS. You can just use your E and then switch to your main DPS. I generally would recommend a little bit of elemental mastery, at least probably on your crown. Could be huge. I'm going to level this piece up. I'm so excited for it. I want to level up this crown right here, wherever the frick it went, my elemental mastery. This looks so beautiful. And if it levels well, then I'm going to be running it. But overall, that is my weapon test. I hope this was helpful for you guys. The Widsith is definitely worth it. If you can get R5, then go ahead. We will be comparing many more weapons in the future, so be on the lookout for that. If you guys have specific requests or specific weapons that you want me to compare side by side with whatever characters, if I have them, I will do that as soon as I can. I don't have Kazuha. There's several units that I'm missing, but if I have the unit and I have the weapons, or at least I'll level the weapons up, if I have them, I can get them, then I will do that for you guys. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know what you guys think down below. Also, check me out streaming on Twitch about a couple days a week. It is down in the description if you want to. But that's all I have for you guys, and I'm Puss, and I'm going to be taking off. Yeah, peace, beautiful people.